Hey boys and girls, welcome back to Persona 3 FES. In the last episode, we began our journey to find the absolute truth about the Dark Hour. With no more full moon arcanas left to fight, and tons of unanswered questions left to be answered, we make our desperate attempt to make our way through the Tartarus as far as we possibly can to hopefully find some kind of answer about the fall before it inevitably begins, to hopefully save everyone from the world Shuji is trying to create, and the world that Pharaoh's trying to warn us about. So, with that being said, today will be a Tartarus-based episode, like I said in the last one, and it's actually going to be a whole new block, being the Harabah block. So, that being said, we make our way into one of the final, blocks of the Tartarus in today's episode, and this one is going to be a long one compared to the last few ones, since, from now on, the Harabah block and whatever the final one is going to be are 50 floors each. So, with that being said, yeah, we're going to have quite a bit of things we're going to be doing today, since, obviously we're not going to go through all 50 floors, and we're going to do cuts along the way, but there's apparently going to be 5 bosses, which is definitely, quite a bit more, since we're used to only fighting 2, so, honestly, let's just get right into it, since, yeah, we got quite a bit of, places to go to in this one, since we're on block 5 of 6 now, and this one definitely looks a little bit more psychedelic than the last few.
Something seems very different about this floor. The enemies are different too. I'll scan ahead, but please give me some time.
Yeah, of course, Fuka. And, hey, look, a golden shadow. I'll see if we can maybe fight it, but I highly doubt. Yeah, sometimes they're kind of just hard to actually, catch up to sometimes. And honestly, all you really get for them is, some more rarer, items. And also, if we get to the stairs before we find an enemy for this block, I'm just gonna go to the stairs instead. Just due to the fact that there is 50 floors, and that is going to take me some time to actually get through. So, yeah, we're going to cut some corners as much as we possibly can, I'll be honest, since this episode is going to be a little bit longer than the past few Tartarus episodes for sure.
I can barely sense a strong presence. It might take me a while to find out exactly where it is, though.
Yeah, of course. You're all good, Fuka. And, I was hoping to actually hit the thing, but, oh, it's one of these arcane turrets. Oh yeah, we already know what these guys are weak to, so, honestly, when did this guy is gonna attack? Okay, he's got tilt too. Okay, so, since I actually don't think I have a persona with electricity on me, do I? Yeah, I don't. And also, I'm actually kind of happy I finally have Abaddon. He's actually pretty good. He can't take any kind of physical attacks, which is really cool. But, let's see here, I should have any kind of, yeah, here we go, Xiangum. Just because I know this thing's weak to electricity since it was a heavy, oh, finally!
This enemy is down. Let's finish this.
And we finally got Mitsuru's all-out attack, thing after all this time. It literally took until, the 5th block to actually get it. Wow, I did not expect it to actually take that long to get hers, but she was one of the first people we got on our team, and then we finally get it after all this time. But I'm finally happy we finally got it, since I've been saying, I wonder when we're going to finally get that voice line and everything, and we finally actually ran into it after all this time, because, yeah, that was definitely something I've been trying to get for, the longest time, honestly. Okay, so these guys look like they might be weak to fire, and I don't have fire on me. Or wait, no, actually, I think Abaddon actually does, doesn't he? No, he doesn't. I'm just used to him always having fire to begin with, honestly. We can try it. They might not be ice. I'm just saying that because, well, white clothing usually says that it's going to be something that's ice-based, but maybe it's holy magic. Because honestly, you never know, honestly. Okay, I see an 8 there, so I'm going to probably just go for that, since that's safer to go for. And honestly, any kind of EXP gains are always nice to have anyways. Okay. And since we just fought something, I'm just going to slide by that guy, since, yeah, I did say we're going to cut some corners as much as we possibly can, because, yeah, there's way too many floors.
I found it. It's on the 171st floor. That's still a ways away, but please be careful.
Yeah, of course, Fukum. And we'll do one more floor before we actually do our cut to the first boss, since we already know that there's going to be quite a bit of them due to the fact that the more floors you have, the more Guardians you're going to end up fighting. And with the more Guardians you end up fighting, that means a lot more EXP gaining that you're going to be getting over the course, since the bosses seem to really like giving you that kind of stuff. And if I can't catch the shadow, I'm just going to run past them. Okay, good. Sometimes these shadows are kind of annoying to actually chase down, I'll be honest. I'll go for ice damage. Might work, honestly, since it's worth the idea of actually throwing it out, because just in case, even if it does, like, nullify it or reflect it, I don't have to worry about getting hit back with it. So, honestly, it's just safe to, honestly, just do that and see what happens, honestly. Okay, so far so good, though. Not this way, so we gotta make our way back this way. And this is also the point where I say, yeah, this place is a giant maze, let's be honest. And it's easy to get lost in this place if you're going the wrong direction and you end up, like, walking into, like, a complete and utter, like, you honestly don't know where you're going anyways at some points. Which, honestly, I don't mind, because, honestly, I kind of like it in that way, because this place is supposed to be mysterious, and you're honestly supposed to be in a place you've never been before, so making twists and turns like that honestly makes it a lot more scary in that fact, honestly, and that, honestly, that's what the Tartarus is supposed to be. It's supposed to be this scary, world-ending kind of, like, place, and you have no clue how it actually works in any sort of way, and honestly, I like that in a way. Even though it's like, it does get tedious when you're actually trying to make your way through here, because as you can see, I've basically walked around the entire floor trying to find this one pair of stairs that I can't seem to find. Which, honestly, sometimes it can be bad, but sometimes it's not that bad, since, honestly, you can just keep running and you'll eventually find it, since the shadows aren't that hard to run away from, and I'll be completely honest. And, well, I got unfortunate there, but it's honestly could be worse, honestly. But let's see here. Honestly, I'm just gonna go for heavy light damage here, just because it's a little bit easier to work with that, honestly, here. I just got, well, only reason why we even ran into the shadow is because when they actually do block you in, that's when they actually can catch you, because I'm comparing it to Persona 4, I know, but in Persona 4 you can easily run past every shadow if you really wanted to, and this one's a little bit harder to do so if you really wanted to, because of the fact that they kind of camp areas, and that does make things harder to, like, run around them and everything, but in a way it does kind of stop you from just running past every enemy, which is a good thing, honestly. But with that being said, now that we're actually on the 5th floor of this certain part, we're going to make a little cut until we get to the first boss, and then, as you guys know, we usually do like 5 floors and then another cut. So, with that, I'll see you guys on the very first Guardian of the Harabah block. And honestly, I have a feeling it's going to be like a 3-on-4 fight, since that's usually how the first one usually is, isn't it? So, with that, I'll see you guys very, very shortly on the 171st floor. Okay, now that we're on the 171st floor, we have our first Guardian of multiple in this episode, so let's see what we actually are getting ourselves into, since, honestly, I feel like they're going to get harder and harder over the course of the entirety of this area, to be completely honest. So, let's see what we get ourselves into, honestly.
There's shadows in the middle. Be careful.
Okay, and with that, let's definitely be careful. And it looks like we have some giant stone guardian arms. Okay, I have a feeling then these guys are going to be probably, let's say, physical tanks, let's be honest. So, honestly, let's go for, like, elemental attacks, since that's probably the safest, to be honest, when it comes to, like, they're literally just giant stone golem arms, let's be honest, so I don't think smacking a sword up against them is going to do anything.
Good luck.
And with that, yeah, I'm definitely gonna need some good luck for this one, let's be honest. Okay, let's see here, but yeah, I think elementals is definitely gonna be what we should go for. And then it looks like they're electrified, so probably not Garu, if anything.
this is not just a random shadow, it seems to be guarding this area.
Yeah, and definitely does look like it is doing that. Okay, if I remember correctly, Aegis has Moderate Kaja, so we can use Marakunda here, so let's go for that. Just to be safe here, since, I do think, if I remember correctly, Aegis has that, but she doesn't have Marakunda, which is a little unfortunate, but she does have a lot of stat boosting abilities, which is really good for us. Okay. So honestly, for Junpei here, we could go for Blade of Fury, which honestly we could do that, but we can also go for Gigantic Fist, which is high crits and heavy damage, which honestly sounds really good, but I'm going to go and test the theory that they're going to be strong against physical attacks. Well, it's not that bad. 200 damage is not that bad, and I forgot that I had 2 electrical weakness enemies, or allies on my team, so that could have been really bad. But I think we'll be fine, I think. I'm gonna say Mind Charge here, since, honestly, the increased damage from ice could be really, really good here. Okay, they're getting a free attack buff, which could be bad, but we're perfectly fine for the time being. And as long as if I can get an attack in with one of my allies without being, well, stun-locked at the moment, since that definitely isn't a nice thing to have happening right now. Because, yeah, I'm kind of stuck in a part where I can only use 2 allies, since standing up takes a whole turn for some reason in this game, and that's actually really, really bad, since it doesn't seem like you have many choices on actually getting your allies up, since not many characters have the Me Partra ability, which allows you to pick up your allies in this game. Which, yeah, is kind of bad, but we can kind of work around it, since, honestly, Mind Charge and, wow, okay, I was not expecting that, but that's definitely a way to get out of a stun lock, let's be honest. Okay, yeah, definitely, that definitely helps. Dropping their defense by half and then dropping a Mind Charge, which is like a giant nuke on those enemies, honestly. And also, I have a feeling this could be good. Precious Egg, I believe that gives you SP, I think. I don't honestly know, I haven't really used any of like the items that increase your specific persona and stuff like that in this game, since it doesn't seem like it would be as useful in this game, to be honest. I'm not really sure. I'm saving them all up for like the final fight, honestly, because I have a feeling that, well, obviously the final boss is going to be hard, right? So I'm just preparing myself for later, honestly, at this point. So I'm just saving all those for, like, the final one that we eventually do run into. And also, I still want to make Thanatos, and I want that to be, like, my strongest one, honestly, if I can possibly make that happen. Since, I don't know, I really like Thanatos, honestly. I think it's one of the, like, more, like, probably, honestly, I think that's honestly my favorite Persona design out of, like, a lot of them. I still like Kaguya, but I think Thanatos would be above Kaguya if I really, like, had to make a choice between the two, to be completely honest.
Something about is different about the enemies in this area. I'll scan ahead, it might take me some time, though.
Yeah, of course. And also, I'm thinking of, like, just skipping over Fuka's lines from now on, since, honestly, Fuka just says the same things over and over, for the most part. Unless it says specifically, oh, I think I found the next, where the next boss is or something, then I think that I'll just do it like normal, but I'm just gonna be honest, I've been noticing that Fuka literally says the same things over and over. And, well, yeah, it's like, it does make sense in a way, but I'm surprised that she's not noticing that she's just repeating herself sometimes. Because it's not that hard to notice that enemies are going to be stronger the higher and higher you get inside the Den of Shadows or the Tower of Demise. Like, let's be honest, it's not that hard to understand. And I think I'm, like, at this point in the game, I think I would notice that the things are stronger than they were before. Let's be honest.
Can you go up a little higher? I'm having trouble sensing what's ahead.
Okay, and as you can see, that's another line she likes to repeat. And sometimes, if you go back in, and you, like, say, like, I make it a save and then left, and then came back to this area, it would be a different line entirely sometimes. And it's just, like, they have, like, different repeating lines that they like to use, and then sometimes it's good when, let's say, for instance, there is a special event on the floor, because that is a thing that can happen. There's floors that, like, less enemies can spawn, and then she'll kind of tell you, hey, there's less enemies on this floor, be careful, or, hey, the enemies here are a lot stronger than they normally are, please be careful about that. And yes, that could be nice to say, but like saying, hey, are you tired? Please don't push yourself too hard. Well, I kind of understand that at this point. And the characters, well, they get tired every so often, but they're not, like, tired 24/7, let's be honest. Like, in the beginning of the game, it was, yeah, in the beginning it was kind of a thing you had to worry about. And did we just find out one of these guys' weaknesses just like that? Well, that's nice to know. Okay, yellow guys are weak to ice, good to know. Since that's definitely a good way to kind of, like, tell them all apart, since, honestly, some shadows have the same designs. That's just, kind of like the cowardly Matra enemies at the very beginning, but with the, yellow mask instead of the blue one. So that's good to know for later, but yeah, like, she likes to repeat her lines quite a bit, let's be honest. And this one seems like one that I would normally read for you guys, because this says, hey, I think I know where it is.
I can sense a strong shadow presence, but I don't know exactly where it is. So please be...
Okay, I misread it then, but you know what I mean. Like, at least that one's more different than, hey, enemies are stronger here, or something of that, like, sort, honestly. But with that being said, now that we're 5 more floors in, I'll see you guys at the next Guardian, since, yeah, there's going to be quite a bit of these for this block, since, yeah, it's 50 floors, so I'll see you guys very, very shortly once we get to the second Guardian of the Harabah block, so BRB, boys and girls. Okay, now that we're on the 180th floor, we're officially now on the second Guardian of the Harabah block, which I believe there's 5 to be completely honest, but I could be wrong, because there is quite a bit of floors, and usually it's like 1 per 10, it seems like that, so let's see what we're getting ourselves into, since, honestly, I don't know what we're getting ourselves into, since, literally, I just ran to this green thing here, got inside, and then basically saved and then got back with you guys, basically, because every time you leave the Tartarus back to the first floor, you get your SP and HP back, so yeah, I definitely needed a little bit of that after the amount of floors we went through, so let's see what's going on here.
I sense shadows or enemies in the middle of the floor. Be careful.
Okay, with that, let's make our way towards our next Guardian, so, oh, it's just a bigger version of what we just fought, okay.
Here it comes.
Yeah, here it comes indeed. The giant stone giants. Okay. Well, honestly, I could go for wind weaknesses, but honestly, I don't really know.
Be ready, I sense it's a strong one.
Yeah, it definitely does look pretty strong. So, first off first, drop its defense, since, honestly, either raising our attack or dropping their defense is obviously going to help us. And then, now we can actually do what I wanted to do in the last fight, which was do a moderate Kaja with Aegis, since I knew she had that. So, let's see here. Now that we have double attack, basically, or technically, yeah, no, actually it's more than that, isn't it? At this point, it would be like 4 times attack, since they dropped their defense by half, and then we raised our attack by twice. It was normally, so yeah, we're about 4 times now. So honestly, I think we're pretty good to go in for a big hit here. Honestly, I'm going to try and see if they're weak to slashing first, since this hits everyone. Okay, they block. Okay, so physical things are going to block, so like what I thought with the last one, but that's actually the case this time. Okay, so Mind Charge for Mitsuru would be smart here, since that's going to be, like, basically 8 times damage now. So honestly, I'll take that for what we can get out of that. And as long as we don't get critted here by one of these guys, I think we should be fine. And that was just 1 damage, okay. That's medium damage from that attack, though, so that makes sense. Okay, so honestly, I'm going to go for Mabufudine first, since, you never know, Elemental could be really good here, so I guess we'll find out. Okay, good, we dropped their HP quite a bit, and then, honestly, I think we should probably just go for maybe a defense up, just until Mitsuru can attack, since Mitsuru seems like she might be able to get the rest of them, since now we know ice damage works. Okay, so we could go for fire here, since they might be weak to, or, well, not weak to, but take good damage from fire. No, they don't. Okay, so Junpei's completely useless in this fight when it comes to actually hitting, since, yeah, his only attacks are slashing. Well, he does have smashing, but I don't even know if they even block that or not, to be completely honest. But Mabufala should get rid of them, since now it's basically 8 times damage. So down goes the Stone Giants, and GG for the second Guardians, honestly. Which, honestly, is good for us, honestly, and, well, Mitsuru's now tired, but honestly, it does make sense. And, honestly, I'm gonna be honest, well, I'm saying honest a lot, but it's been a couple days since I last recorded, but when it comes to, like, tiredness in this game, I kind of just work around it, since I don't have to really worry about that as much, but it does make it harder for, because you lose damage, and you also lose a little bit more on when you actually get knocked down, because when you get knocked down, when you have tiredness, your character has the chance of not actually standing back up. So technically, even if you do force the characters to stay in the Tartarus, which is something I've done, in which you guys already knew about, because that happened in the first dungeon, when it comes to that, it doesn't really matter at that point, since of the fact that you're already, like, kind of, well, the handicap of keeping your characters in the fights when you're using a certain team does happen, but the thing is you're also unhandicapping yourself because of the fact that you're doing less damage, and you're also taking more damage due to the fact that your characters are still on the floor for longer amounts of time than they should be normally. So technically, it kind of evens itself out, honestly. So, honestly, it's not even really that bad to really add them back into the Tartarus, even though they're technically supposed to be leaving after you go back to the first floor, because they'll say, I'm tired, and then head back to the dorm. So technically, Mitsuru, if we were to head back now, she would actually leave the Tartarus, and then we'd have to choose somebody else if we wanted to. But honestly, I like having one team specifically per area of the Tartarus, since I feel like it's more like my speed, since I'm more used to the characters not actually leaving the party, and more of like they get tired because of the fact that you have no more SP to use. And that's honestly what I'm more used to, honestly, but I don't know, maybe somebody might get like annoyed that I'm doing it this way, because honestly it's just more my speed, since I'm more here for the story, and we're kind of forced to go through the Tartarus, so yeah, basically that's kind of my way of thinking of it, since we're just making our way through here and just having fun along the way, since this is my way of having fun with it.
Something seems different about the enemies in the area. I'll scan ahead, but it might take me a little while.
We'll do the first one for those from now on, since, well, obviously, it might have something different. And, well, she's basically just saying, hey, the enemies are stronger. Okay, just don't push yourself too hard. Okay, we'll try and do that, Fuka. And I see a free item. Might as well grab that. Titanium dog suits. That's weaker than the one we currently have, so although it is nice to have that, we really don't need it, since all my characters are pretty much up to date at this point. Okay, strong presence. And she doesn't know where it is. Okay, well, that's basically just a repeat of another line, and also since that's like 3 staircases back to back, I'm gonna... Okay, forget that shadow. We'll fight another enemy. I don't feel like chasing that shadow for 2 hours. I know it's not going to take 2 hours, but sometimes shadows can be annoying to actually chase down, to be completely honest. When, as you can see, sometimes they just kind of like run around like maniacs sometimes, and then you can't even actually hit them or chase them down. Ooh, new enemies. Okay. They look like they could use poison of some sort. That could be bad. I'm gonna go Mahamian, since a lot of enemies do have weaknesses to light. So this would be a good idea of checking. And it is. Okay, good. Okay, since I was thinking poison, so curse or some sort of like that. How does Aegis even get tired? That's one thing I don't understand. But, uh-oh. I see a curse card, and that scares me more than anything else, and I wasn't actually paying attention other than the curse card. Okay, well, at least I got the best one out of the entire stack, let's be honest, but those curse cards always freak me out, since, you know, I can obviously grab one on accident, and then probably cry later, let's be honest. Okay, so this one's actually a new line, so let's actually read this one.
I sense a strong presence on the 190th floor. Please be careful.
Okay, so with that being said, I'll see you all on the 190th floor, because Spooks is now no longer wrong when it comes to actually when the next boss is, so I'll see you guys very, very shortly. Okay, now that we're on the 190th floor, just like Spooks said, the next strong presence was indeed on this floor. So, it looks like we only have one this time, so it's going to be one big bad enemy this time around. So, let's see what the third guardian for this block actually has in store for us, since, yeah, due to the fact that it's just one of them, I feel like this one's actually going to be a lot stronger than the previous ones we fought in this floor to begin with. So, let's see what we get ourselves into.
There's one shadow near the middle of the floor. It's really strong, so be careful.
Okay, and with that being said, let's make our way towards the big shadow. Oh, it's one of these, like, giant, like, Grim Reaper kind of looking enemies with the candles. Okay, cool. I'll honestly like these guys, honestly.
You mean I believe in you.
Okay. Honestly, I think I believe in myself as well, but I guess we'll find out.
It's Arcana's Hermit, so this will be a tough battle.
Hermit means it's gonna be stronger? I don't understand how that can be the case, but okay. Okay, so Maracunda to drop out its defense as much as possible, since literally you can't drop it any lower. Unless this was like Persona 5, then you can. I think there is a way to get like double debuffs, which I've never really done it myself since, honestly, when I was playing Persona 5, like from my first time, because now I'm playing through it my second time, but it's mostly because, as I said, I want to increase the social stats for when we do play Royal. I'm trying to increase the stats as much as possible, so when we do a New Game Plus, when I hang out with you guys, I'm not going to do the Royal Path, though, and I found out how you actually get the Royal Path. So, there's 3 new social links in Persona 5 Royal, and if you do all 3 of those to max, you unlock the new path, which is a completely new extra story that isn't in the normal game, which is actually really, really cool, and I like how they did that, since it actually makes it a lot easier to not miss it if you're specifically going for it. So it's kind of like Marie from Persona 4 Golden, if you guys understand. So basically like that. So honestly, I can't wait to go through that, since that's going to be completely with you guys, since I'm not doing that on my own, because honestly, since I already know, I already told you guys, I went through Persona 5 before, so it doesn't matter if I play through the main story again. So I'll just play through the main story again, get the normal ending, and then whenever that happens, I'll go through the game with you guys, and then go through the new ending, which I've never seen before. So I'm honestly looking forward to that whenever that does happen. And also we have Fear now, so that could be a problem here, but let's increase our attack, since obviously we want to go for as many stat buffs first, and then we'll go in for anything we can do afterwards. And due to the fact that this thing is a candle, basically, I'm going to say ice is probably what it's weak to. Or wind. Ice or wind would work. So let's test ice first. Ice is definitely not it, so now we know, but we can go for a Bufudyne here, since it's heavy with the Mind Charge and the extra damage, so honestly, it's worth the shots. Oh, Mahamion, thank goodness I don't take that for my main character, because that could be really bad. Okay. Basically medium damage or medium damage, so honestly, let's just go slashing, since honestly, more enemies are weak to slashing than they are for smashing, let's be honest. Okay, so I'm gonna go for Garodyne just to see if it was also weak to wind, because I said it might be either or. Neither? Really? Huh, that's surprising. That's very surprising, actually. Huh, weird. And also, thank goodness we didn't get hit by Mahamion, because that would have knocked down a couple of characters, let's be honest. Got a level 80 out of that, which is always nice to see, since the higher level we are, the better personas we can make. And actually, I don't even know what level we need to be for Thanatos, but I want to make him soon, since, yeah, obviously, he's going to be pretty cool to actually use, since he's literally the Harbinger of Death, basically, is what we know about him from the title that we got from unlocking Pharaoh's rank 10, so honestly, I can't wait to use that. So, yeah, definitely gonna be nice.
Something seems different about the enemies in the area. I'll scan up ahead, but it might take me a little while.
Okay, and with that, we probably won't be seeing Fuka for a little bit since, yeah, I'm kind of done repeating her lines, to be honest, since it's kind of getting a little repetitive for me. And, which honestly, it makes sense, but, I don't know, I feel like there could have been, well, either you don't do the line entirely, when it's just getting too repetitive, which it could have just done, because I don't think she needs to repeat the same, like, 4 lines every single floor, I'm gonna be honest. But, honestly, I hope if they ever do redo this game, that, ooh, Throne, I'll take him. I was going for the 8, but that went too fast for me to actually notice it, since it's already, well, obviously I'm wearing glasses, so it's already hard for me to see in general, and that's the whole reason why I'm wearing glasses, but, yeah, that was way too fast for me to actually notice where that actually went, to be honest, but, yeah, if they ever do remake this game, since the whole, 25th anniversary of Atlas is this year, and they said that they're doing, like, a bunch of projects this year, and obviously it's probably going to be announced by the time this video does go up, but honestly, I hope that whatever projects they do, one of them is a remake for Persona 3, because, yeah, that would be really cool to do, since if it does get remade, well, it would make this series, like, you know, it would be less important, but it would, honestly, I really do think this game could use a remake, since I think this game would look really, really cool if they had the upscaled graphics from Persona 5, and just keep the story like it is, just upscale the graphics a little bit, because it is a little dated, and maybe even revamp the Tartarus a little bit, in a way, to make it more fun, since it does get a little repetitive for some of the floors for Tartarus, which is something I'm very vocal about, but it is fun for the most part when you're not, like, running 50,000 floors in a row, which, like, say like you're just doing training, and it's fun, but if you're trying to make it to a certain area, it does kind of get a little bit of repetitive when you see the exact same layout when it comes to room design, since, as you can see, it's the psychedelic stuff around here. But the thing is everything looks the same, and your vision starts to get blurry in a way, because you're just like, okay, I'm making my way through here as much as I can.
Oh, I can barely sense a strong presence, but I'm not sure it's exactly where it is. Sorry, but can you go up, please, a little bit higher?
Yeah, of course, Fukum. I'll try my best at that, since, you know, we're gonna keep going up and up and up until we eventually reach the end of this floor, since, yeah, there's quite a bit of them. I think 214 for Harabah, to be completely honest. And that is quite a bit, let's be honest. But eventually we'll be on the final block, and then things will probably be a little bit more, since apparently the final block actually has some more interesting things based on what I've heard. So I do wonder what's going to happen with that. Well, the shadows are definitely going to be really interesting there, since, you know, they're going to be a lot harder, and they're probably going to be the hardest shadows we fought to compare to everything else we fought, since it is the final block. Well, technically there is that secret block with the secret boss fight with in the New Game Plus, which is just something I found out because of the fact that when we fought off with Margaret in Persona 4, it was just something I ended up learning because I was looking through Margaret's trivia, and I ended up finding out that Elizabeth and Theodore for, well, Persona 3 Portable and FES both have secret boss fights in New Game Plus, so it's just something that they normally do. And honestly, I was kind of surprised to hear that the Velvet Room attendants are secret bosses, because the first one I played for Persona was Persona 5, and you fight the wardens in the late game in the normal game, so it was something that kind of threw me off when I eventually got to Persona 4, and we eventually did get to the secret boss fight, since I didn't really know who it was, until like near the end of the game, and I didn't even really know that there was a secret boss fight until I just eventually randomly found the information. So yeah, definitely, we won't be doing the New Game Plus one for this one, because, well, Margaret was really hard, and it took me almost like an hour or two just to do it, and I don't want to go through that again, honestly. And I don't think there's going to be story attached to it. There might be, but I just don't want to go through the whole game again, to be honest, since Persona 4, in order to get I and I forgot what her name, but the girl for the Temperance Arcana for the Young Mother's social link, I had to go through the game again just to get their social links, and I also went for a full social link run to get the achievements. And, well, although I did get the achievements, it did take me like 4 days of just non-stop grinding on the game just to get to the point. And yeah, that definitely took a while, I'll be honest. And all I really did was just speed up the game, just basically holding down the triangle button to speed up all the conversations and skipping through basically everything just to try and get back to where we were, just so I can do the one episode on the series, to be honest. But maybe I'll change my mind, you never know. But with that, I'm gonna do another cut to get to the next boss fight, since we obviously are going to be getting into another Guardian, and it's probably going to be one of the last ones, let's be honest. I think there's... honestly, I don't know. I'm going to say 2 or 1 more, honestly, but I guess we'll find out. So with that, I'll see you all at the next Guardian. So, I guess we'll find out if there's going to be 2 or more, or 2 or 1. But with that, BRB, boys and girls. Okay, now that we're on the 201st floor, there's 3 shadows in the middle, so that means there is going to be 1 more fight for us to do. And because of the fact that the reason why I say that is because usually the main Guardian for the end is usually just 1, so I have a feeling we still have 1 more to deal with, which is actually kind of surprising due to the fact that the block ends at 214. So honestly, I guess we'll see that eventually.
I sense 3 shadows in the middle. Please be careful.
With that, let's actually make our way towards the next Guardian, since, yeah, we definitely got 1 more fight on our hands, more than likely. So it looks like we got the little, ice dancer kind of characters.
Here it comes.
Yeah, here it comes indeed. And since it didn't say specifically, an Arcana of some sort, there's definitely 1 more than likely.
This one's dangerous. Stay focused.
Okay. I'll definitely try to stay focused. Okay. And also, if you're wondering why I'm using an axe, honestly, I wanted to try out using an axe for a little bit, since it's more of my way to say, I kind of missed Shinjiro as much as possible, since, yeah, his main weapon was an axe, and we don't actually have any axe users now, so honestly, I threw an axe on my main character just to kind of say, hey, Shinji, I hope you're doing okay wherever you are at this point, since I really do kind of miss him. I really liked his character. And honestly, I hope to see him in a future game of some sort, because I know he's in Persona Q, and that would be a game I would like to play. Oh, she's starting to heal people. That's not going to be good. Oh, Counter-Strike. I didn't actually expect that to actually do anything, but that's cool. Okay, 2 people with status effects, which could be bad. Could they be ice weakness? Royal Dancers, nothing really to go off of there. Usually, I know they null this for bosses, so there's no point in trying that. But we can go for Mabufudine and at least see if they're weak to, or at least null ice damage. Oh, they don't. Good. Good. Okay. We could just go for that and knock out maybe 2 of them. You know what? We're gonna try that. Just see if we can knock out 2, and then we can just focus the 1. Because that will work, and that actually works out perfectly. And then we can just go for a slash here. And GG. Cool. Okay. We didn't even have to worry about the status effects other than the 1 free heal that the 1 dancer got from Mitsuru that really didn't do anything for him. But yeah, they definitely did try, let's be honest. Okay. And with that, let's continue our journey up to the top of this area, since there's definitely still a couple more floors to go.
something's different about the enemies in this area. They seem a lot stronger than they are before. I'll scan up ahead. It might take some time though.
Okay. I just wanted to change that a little bit since I don't want to just repeat the same thing over and over, since she definitely does repeat it, and I'm trying my best to kind of still do them, but change them up every now and again. I think that's how I'm going to do it now, since I still think, like, because I like doing Fuka's voice and everything, so... Oh yeah, I forgot. Heavy arm. Okay, I'm not chasing you down. This thing's too hard to swing, to be honest. It's, each weapon has their own swings, and axes seem to be the hardest to actually swing, but I think it's even with the two-handed swords, because I've used the two-handed swords before, but I've never used the bows or the... Wait, oh no, that's actually it, because... Oh no, the lances. Lances as well. I haven't used bows or lances yet, so I honestly don't know how those are yet, but maybe I should try to test them out in between, see if I actually like those, but I guess we'll find out. But let's continue, since that's basically the same thing Fuka normally says. The reason why I usually pause there is because of the fact that if you're on a screen like that, you don't have to worry about the Reaper from showing up, since that is the reason why I like to pause there, since then I can talk and not have to worry about randomly being attacked. And of course those stone giants are weak to ice, okay? The same enemies we fought earlier as guardians are weak to ice normally, but when they're as giant guardians, they're not weak to anything. That's wonderful. Thanks, game. I swear this game sometimes, it likes changing the weaknesses of some enemies and then just completely negates what that was before, to be honest. Because, what was it? The electric tanks, the arcane turrets, we had those as a guardian, and they ended up, like, what was it? They sucked in the electricity and gained HP, basically. That was, like, they completely changed it on its head, basically. So, yeah, definitely, they definitely like to change the Guardians' weaknesses when you fight them as normal shadows, and then non-normal shadows like Guardian. Well, that's what they are, Guardians. But yeah, they definitely do like to change them quite a bit. I'm gonna be completely honest. And with that being said, I'll see you guys at the next boss fight, since I don't honestly know where that's gonna be, since Fuka still has yet to find it. So with that, I'll see you guys once we get to the final boss fight for this section, since there's no way there can be another one after it, since we're almost to the top of this area. So with that, BRB boys and girls, and I'll see you guys on probably the final of the Guardians for this block. So BRB boys and girls. Okay, now that we're on the 211th floor of the Tartarus, we're officially on the final Guardian of the Harabah block, or what I would believe so, since I don't think they can fit another one, to be honest, since we're literally like only a couple floors off the final area for this area. So honestly, I think we're on the final one for now. So let's see what's going on here.
I sense a really powerful shadow near the middle. Please be careful, okay?
Hey, that one was actually a little bit different, since she said very powerful, so... okay.
Here it comes.
And here we go. Our next, probably Arcanic Guardian. So, let's see what we got ourselves into.
It's Arcani's fortune. This'll be a difficult fight.
Okay, if you say so. And it's just a giant paradise. Okay. Well, interesting. The Reckoning Dice. Well, the last time I had a problem with one of these dice things was in Persona 4, so let's see what we got this time. Megidola. I believe that's Heavy, Almighty. Okay, not bad. That's honestly really good for how high in, like, magic category that is, so we're perfectly fine for this fight. And also, I didn't even notice it until now, but it's, all of our characters that we're using right now don't even have their awakened personas yet, because of the fact that, well, every single other character that we have on our team, other than Koromaru, has their awakened personas at this point, so, well, that definitely does hinder things, since, I'm pretty sure all these characters have their max, levels at this point for, skills. Yeah, definitely could be better. Wait, I need to make sure that I don't even really remember. I wasn't really paying attention. I can't really see my allies. That could be a problem. I'm gonna say we didn't do this. Please tell me we didn't do this already, because I wasn't really paying... Okay, good. Okay, that could have been bad, because I was kind of paying more attention on actually talking to you guys there. And I was kind of scared of using that, since if you do use it a second time... of course, they block what I'm trying to use. Okay, Tetrakarn, I believe, is a wall for physical, I think. Could be wrong. I forgot which one's which. I think that one's physical one, I think, so I think we should be fine. Let's see here. Oh, well, I completely forgot about the ice. Okay, well, I know that is a physical wall now, since let's just smack them in and get rid of it, so they can't just do it again. Okay. Honestly, I think we should go for probably, we already did that one, so let's go for the hit and evasion rate. So let's just make sure we're as safe as possible, since obviously we can take some damage here and then lose where we, lose this fight, obviously, so let's be careful. Okay. Honestly, I'm gonna say I should probably just swap into Abaddon here, since it seems like that's probably a safer option than what we have right now. And then we can go for probably... Honestly, I'm gonna say we can go for Power Charge first, and then increase as much damage as we possibly can get for Abaddon here, and then go as, like, just as much damage as we possibly can, and of course you go for another Tetrakarn, but we got Junpei for actually blocking that, so let's go for a diorama on Junpei here, since we know he can survive his own attack, so let's just be careful there, and just have him, like, kind of run into that, since we know that's gonna basically just hit us with that, so honestly, as safe as we possibly can be. Then we can go for a Fatal End here for Aegis. Just do as much damage as we possibly can while it's trying to block everything we're trying to do. And then we'll go for a Weary Thrust here, do heavy damage and see what we can get out of this, since this should be some decent damage. Okay, almost 2,000 damage is not bad. Going for another Tetrakarn, but yeah, that would have been really bad if we hit into that when it had Tetrakarn up. Okay. Since I know that all she can do is just smack, let's just get rid of that, since that's not going to help us at all. Okay, so let's see here. Honestly, Gigantic Fist could be really good here, since we can go for a crit, and then it might knock it down, and all-out attack is going to definitely kill this thing at this point, since it has basically like 100 HP now.
Here's our chance. Let's get him.
Yeah, let's get him indeed. And down goes the final Guardian for this block, more than likely, with 600... Okay, 6,000 damage is definitely overkill. I still think the all-out attacks in this game are way too much damage, I'm gonna be honest. I'm kinda glad they kinda nerfed it in Persona 4, if that was the amount of damage they were gonna be doing, because, well, 600 damage is fine, but 6,000, there should be a cap on the amount of damage the all-out attacks do, since, yeah, that's quite a bit, I'm gonna be honest. But, honestly, it's better than nothing, I guess.
For some reason, there are way fewer enemies in the area.
Yep, that's definitely the case, so that means we're nearing the end. Honestly, I'm just gonna run past these shadows, since there's no way I'm gonna hit any of these things with this axe, I'm gonna be honest. I just wanted to use the axe for the rest of the dungeon, just because of Shinjiro. And she's just repeating what she just said, so let's just keep making our way forward. And honestly, I want to see if we can probably get it. Oh, cool. See? Making good guesses sometimes leads you to the stairs. Okay, and apparently this is the final document based on what Elizabeth's request is, so I do wonder what this final one's gonna say, honestly.
It's a dead end. I see the way to the next floor, but the path is blocked. I wonder why.
Yeah, I wonder why indeed as well. So it looks like we can't come in here until, well, something happens for the final block to be opened. Interesting, though. Obtained old document number 8. Okay, well, let's see what's going on with the old document, and then I guess we'll figure out what we do from there, since I really do wonder what's going to go on here. And, like usual, we're going to read it from the 1st to the 8th, so let's see what happens. The electricity's hooked up. But why do they need so much? There's only a school on this island. Weird, Kirijo's Ergo Research Branch plans to build a lab on this island. I wonder what for. They build a research facility here. They want me to join the team, but I have a bad feeling. The team leader asked me himself. I was so surprised. It's the same man who once saved my life. I wanted to be with him, so I joined. What a mistake. We shouldn't be experimenting with these shadows. I knew it. These shadows arise due to human emotion. If I'm right, collecting them, well, I've heard it all. The plant is evil, but there's hope. If people could control the shadows inside them. I'm leaving the team. I can't break the law, but he won't come with me. Maybe I'll open an antique store. Antique store? Okay, that's interesting. There is an antique store that we're actually able to go to, and you can turn your shadows, or your personas, into weapons. So maybe the person that's been writing these is that person, because they know about personas, which is kind of weird. So, that's interesting. So yeah, it's gotta be that person. I don't know what the actual, like, there's definitely, like, a 1 to 8 here that's specifically in order. I'm gonna try and figure that out probably by either the next episode or whenever I remember to do so. So yeah, definitely I do want to like put all these together and figure out if there is actually an order, because there's definitely one, maybe, and maybe I'm just crazy and that actually is the order, but it feels like there could be more to that, honestly. Oh yeah, we should probably look around this area, to be honest. Sci-fi-like, honestly. Basically just like the rest of the block, though, honestly. Psychedelic patterns and futuristic kind of designs. So honestly, it kind of makes sense for this one, honestly. But, interesting. I wonder what the next block's gonna look like, honestly. Because, honestly, we can't see it yet, so I really do wonder what we're gonna be seeing for the final block, honestly.
Okay, I'll be waiting for you.
And let's honestly go turn this into Fuko real quick and just let her know, hey, we're done with this block, and let's see what she thinks about it, since, honestly, she might have something to say about it.
I'll support all of you from here, so do you need anything?
Yeah, of course, check my progress.
Are you okay? You don't look so good. You should rest from when you're not feeling well. Now is there anything I can do for you? You've explored 214 levels of the tower. We reached the top of this zone, but I think you can keep going up. What is up there, I wonder? Anything else?
Nope, that's it. Now, what indeed is on the top of this tower, honestly? Because I feel like that's going to be where we find the final answers about the Tartarus, is at the top. But who honestly knows, to be completely honest? I guess we'll find out, but honestly, I don't even know when we'll be even seeing the top of the tower, to be completely honest. Since, I don't think we're going to be seeing that maybe until, I'm going to say probably the next, like, month, since honestly, I don't think we're going to have another full moon operation, to be honest, but we might have some story on the next full moon, but I don't think it's going to lead to another operation, since there's no more full moon arcanas, so honestly, I don't know what we're going to get ourselves into in the next one, for when it comes to that. But in the next episode, we will be continuing our free time, but the free time is actually going to be something completely different in the next episode, since we're going to be getting into the school trip in the next episode, and that's all we got planned so far. So, with that being said, I hope you had a great day for today, honestly, and honestly, I don't really know what's going to be happening soon, because of the fact that there's still a lot of unanswered things, and we still don't really know what's really going on with the Tartarus, and what it really is. All we know is the fall happens, or the fall is happening, and we caused the beginning of it, because of the fact that Shuji pushed us into destroying all the full moon arcanas. So apparently, the fall is coming, but what exactly is the fall, and why is it so dangerous? Because we still don't really know why, but all we know is death is coming now. So, yeah, definitely kind of scary if you really think about it. But with that, thank you all for watching today's episode. Have a wonderful rest of your day. This was the longest Tartarus episode as of date, and the next Tartarus one is definitely going to be the same thing, since it's another 50 floors. But maybe it'll be more interesting. So with that, thank you all for watching. Have a wonderful rest of your day, and I'll see you all in the next one. Peace out. Hey boys and girls, thank you all for watching today's episode. If you liked what you saw today, please leave a like and maybe even subscribe. And hit the bell notification down below. If you guys have any kind of suggestions for games, please put that in the comments down below as well. Thank you all for watching today's episode, and keep being spooky. Peace out, guys.